They are factual.
We can give you that.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, I'll come to you.
What I want to say is that, first of all, President Uhuru followed the footsteps of President Kibaki. He made a very big attempt to stabilize the country. And even a lot of experts in President Kibaki's government continue to work with President Uhuru. So you cannot really say that there was a change. And even the current president was his deputy, and a very effective one in the first term. It's only that there were a little political quarrels which followed, but the real mechanism which runs the government still remained intact and remained the same. So I want to believe that the so-called taxes, you know when President Kibaki came to power, Kenyans believed in his leadership and believed he was fighting corruption, which he was, and therefore volunteered to pay taxes. People queued at KRA to pay taxes, and the country stabilized. And I think we should still pay taxes. But you cannot pay taxes when the economy is not performing. The economy is not performing because of a high cost of living. The high cost of living is caused by cost of fuel, because the transportation affects all the prices, and that's where the trouble is. So I think we need to look at that and not blame each other, but to look for a way of constructively building the nation. Where people have done well, they should be told they'll be done well. Where people have allowed monies to be sipped through corruption, you know, in very many projects and cartels, we should understand that is a problem. We should be seeing an effort on how to fight corruption. This government, since it was formed, it has never made a statement on how to fight corruption. There's no proper methodology. There is, you know, the institution dealing with fighting corruption has not been devolved to the counties where a lot of money has been sent. So we still, why is the current regime entertaining corruption? Why is it quiet on some non-corrupt officials? Okay. Why is it withdrawing cases from people who are known to be holding Kenya's money, instead of that money being surrendered back to the state?
But as a lawyer, I'll come to you, Honorable. As a lawyer, then, Senator Maanzo, two quick things here. You pointed out the cost of living crisis.
Yes.
But that is a matter that your presidential candidate before the August election dismissed in his campaigns. He said, no, that's not an issue, that's not important. That's what he said, Raila Odinga. How suddenly is it important for you guys, and it's among the 4 key issues itemized in the bipartisan talks?
Well, you know, cost of living then was being managed through the subsidies. Subsidies were withdrawn immediately a new government was formed, and that's why cost of living has become very high, and therefore cost of doing business. Why is electricity all of a sudden has been increased? And when you look at, if you make a payment under the analysis, you find like for those who pay tokens, let's say for 5,000 shillings, 3,000 shillings is unexplained to where it has gone to. This money is being collected by the government, but it's not being disclosed. So Honorable Raila Odinga was very right in his own way on insisting that the subsidies should not have been withdrawn suddenly. That's not how economies are run. It should have gone slowly to relieve Kenyans till the economy peaks.
The specific question was not on subsidies, but on the cost of living, which he wholeheartedly...
Which is paged on subsidies and paged on transport and paged on fuel and paged on electricity.
And a key question on an election period, which he dismissed, that's my question. What would you have done different if the Kenyan people accorded you the mandate to be in power today?
Well, we would not have withdrawn the subsidies with immediate effect. We would have fought corruption. Therefore, the monies which are being lost, 2 billion shillings daily, would be useful to Kenyans and will still remain in treasury. There were a lot of, you know, there are a lot of people, like in road construction and in some of these projects, you find the BQ has not been followed. Therefore, you end up with a weak road, or some of the things in the BQ have been left, and these are the contractors to quickly be paid, because they are giving kickbacks to government officials.
And Senator Maanzo, the 2 billion claim was made by none other than the former head of state, Uhuru Kenyatta. Mathematically, that's 60 billion and 700 billion, 20 billion Kenya shillings annually. That's more than a third of what we collect in revenues. No action was taken. The head of state made the statement, no action, no one was prosecuted. It was in last regime.
There are quite a number of arrests then. Who the current regime have set these people free. The DPP, in one way or another, has withdrawn the cases.
All right. One final question, Honorable Baya, just hang on. How then do you explain as a lawyer on the trumped-up claims made by Korea Obadea, ranking DCI official, who said, I was under duress and pressure from the top DCI echelons to fix the former Madeira MP and now Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Why aren't institutions certainly not working in this country when it comes to the capacity of the holders of those offices?
I believe institutions should be allowed to operate without interference from the national government. We should institutionalize our country. We should strengthen institutions and allow them to do their job. That's what President Kibaki did, and that really helped the country. The allegations by a boss of DCI there did not live long. You remember when the current government came to power, they said they will not use police to do politics. Having no regulations of Public Order Act, you know, the regulations expired 10 years ago, and without a proper structure, the police are now were used, you know, to disrupt the peaceful mandamanos which are constitutional. So the current government must live into its one. Let police do their job.
Okay. Yes, Obaya.
Yes, I want to follow up with what Dr. was talking about. You see, one of the things, the key planks